When I was growing up, I used to give Doug a lot of trouble because he would worry about the weather. And last night at 3 in the morning, as I was watching it rain, I realized I had become my father. So a little nod to Denim Doug today as we shoot our weekly ag update from Bloomgren Seed in Boone, Iowa. Today we're going to talk about a couple things. Quick progress update. We're running quite a bit ahead, as you could expect, on GDUs. We're plus 73 over normal at about 818 GDUs. Rainfall, we're 2.7 inches shy, measuring from April 11th. But as many of you know, we've got our $1 million rain today. We're at about 1.5 inches here at the office, and it looks like we might have some more coming. So some good things starting to happen. We're breaking the heat a little bit, and certainly getting some much needed moisture. We've been scouting, obviously, over the last couple weeks, and what we've noticed is there's been adequate moisture, subsoil, but obviously the surface has gotten pretty dry, and we've seen some limited node development. So what we decided to do today, shoot inside, obviously, with the rain. We're going to cover two things. We're going to talk about how the corn plant is developing, what we're looking for in healthy development, as well as what's happening in this high heat. So first, we've pulled a couple corn plants. We've got one sitting in a bucket here and one that we split. I'm going to ask Dane to bring the camera in. We're going to go through healthy node development. So as Dane comes in, I'm going to show you guys nodal development on the plant. If you would split a plant, what you're going to see is this darker mass in the bottom of the triangle here. That's nodes 1 through 4. Okay, that's going to be your early stage development. You'll start to see cell elongation, or the elongation in between the nodes. So this dark line here is your 5th node. You have your inner node, your 6th node. Then you have the elongation here, your inner node before your 7th node. And then subsequently, as you go up this plant, you'll start to see each individual node. Your brace roots are going to come out of 6 and 7. As you can see on the side of this plant, we've got nodal roots coming out of number 5. We don't have roots exposed yet coming out of 6 or 7. Those roots are going to develop, but they take two things to develop. They take heat and they take moisture. As they sense moisture in the soil, they'll begin to form that brace root. That brace root is going to be a significant part of this plant's ability to be upright later in the season. So looking forward to seeing those develop. Overall, this is a pretty healthy plant, and we're happy with the development of this plant. But what we've seen, and I'll pull this plant out of the bucket, in the compact soils, in the dried off hard soils that we've had, even though we've had adequate subsoil moisture, we've lacked surface moisture. So as these nodal roots are trying to develop, the tips of them, if they do not sense enough moisture, will actually just brown off and basically abort their development. And so this nodal root development is really important. We've seen a lot of shallow planted corn this year, and we're seeing a lot more of that brown off. Now this is still developing. This plant isn't necessarily unhealthy, but what we'd like to see is a lot more of these roots that are shooting off at a 45-degree angle. You know, these ones that are nubby and going in multiple directions are seeking moisture, and they're having a hard time finding it. So this is not the pattern of development we'd like to see out of these roots. So overall, not huge concerns. This moisture is going to just literally be a lifesaver as far as nodal development. So second part of our video series, what we're going to talk a little bit about, the concern has been rolling corn. What's happening as my corn rolls? So I'm going to grab the plant. We're going to talk a little bit about the process of what's happening physiologically with these plants. I'm pulling nutrients and moisture from the soil, pulling that into the plant. I'm collecting chlorophyll through the leaves, and I'm storing that. After the gas exchange happens, I'm storing that. I'm storing the energy from the chlorophyll, storing the water and the nutrients from the root system. And at night, when the stomates open, that allows for that exchange to take place, and that energy turns into sugar. So why are the plants rolling? Well, we know that there's transpiration out of plants. The plants collect moisture. When it gets too hot, they lose it. So as we see these leaves roll, that's actually the plant protecting itself from too much transpiration. The question is it good or bad? Well, it's both. So we're going to have less gaseous exchange when the plant is rolled up, but it's still allowing those stomates to do their job. If it weren't rolling and it allowed all of that moisture to transpirate out of the plant, plant, then it would result in no moisture, allowing for no gaseous exchange. We wouldn't have any ability to produce sugar in the plant. So we want to see limited rolling. What we know is if we roll for extended period of time, if we're rolling for more than 8 to 10 hours in a day, we're probably limiting our sugar production. We're ultimately limiting the growth of the plant. But what we've seen over the last few days, a couple hours is actually the plant doing its job well. So not really concerned about it today. It's something to keep our eyes on. What we will obviously be anxious to watch is the continual development of the root system and just the access to moisture that these plants have now that we've actually got a little bit of moisture. So keep your eyes out on this stuff. One last quick note. We're going to run out of an ability to stage plants with the leaves because these leaves are going to start to senesce off. As these leaves senesce off, we have to split these plants and count nodes in order to stage these plants. So overall, guys, if you watched our weekly product spotlight that Ryan posted yesterday, we're happy with development. We've gone through a period of stress, but by no means do I think we've done significant injuries to these plants. True $1 million rain yesterday in the sense that we're going to kind of get these plants back on track where we want them to be. So if you have questions about what you're seeing scouting, or if you want us to come out and scout with you, just give us a call. Otherwise, we'll check back in a week. That's your weekly ag update from Bloomgren Seed in Boone, Iowa. Thank you.